That is not, he's a thief. I am not a thief. I have never stolen anything in my life. I've never robbed a 7-Eleven. I've never held up a bank. I've never cheated my income tax. I'm not a thief. What makes you think you have to do that to be a thief, I mean, man, if all you do is rob a gas station of $20, you got problems, man. Two thieves were in jail, and one was reading and studying, the other one wasn't doing much anything, and his bunkmate said to him one day, he said, you ought to study and improve yourself. He said, I'm studying. He said, when we get out of here, you'll just still be a common thief, but I'll be an embezzler. Now, if you steal $50 from a cash register, they might give you 10 or 15 years, but if you can steal $20,000 from the highway department, they'll make a city commissioner out of you. If you're going to do it, you want to go do it, you might as well do it on a big scale, if you're going to do it. But you say, what is a thief? A thief is somebody who takes something and doesn't leave an adequate return. That's what a thief is. If you break the guy's house and steal a $100 watch and leave him $100, you haven't really stolen it. You bought it. A thief takes something and doesn't leave an adequate return. That's what a thief is on anything. Now, you come to school here to learn the Bible. You're a student. You pay money to me to teach you the Bible. If I don't teach you the Bible, I'm a crook. How many will say amen to that? Let me hear you say amen. Why don't you say it at the other schools? They tell you the same thing. Come here and learn the Bible. You get there, they cut it down and take it away from you. Thief! Stop in the name of the law. He's a crook. I preached one time in a prison. I forget where it was. It's been about 60 now, a bunch of them. And I can't keep them all straight, but I preached one of them. I was drawing this thing, and I was talking about, are you a thief? And two of them right back in the middle were talking to each other. I heard one of them say, I never done that. The other fellow said, I ain't done it either. You hear them talking. They talk back to you while you're preaching. And I went right on with the spiel. And in the spiel, you know what you say next? I wasn't planning to get him. I just preached when I'm getting ready to preach. And then, you know what you say next? You say, did you ever steal 10 years off your mother's life the way you live with her worrying about you? And one of those guys looked right at the other guy and said, I never thought about that. Just serious, a heart attack, man. Let me ask you this. You ever steal the bloom of purity off a young girl's cheeks? You sure you're not just crooked as a dog's hind leg? I bet we got people in this building tonight so crooked, if you fell through a barrel of fish hooks, you would get stuck one time. Got to screw your socks on in the morning. We've had guys come down and go to school and work our trustees over and our deacons for money. Old time right here, never paid back a dime of it. Now they got making dime. And they preach down the street and passing out tracts. When I preach, I don't do this much anymore because I don't preach many Southern Baptist churches as I used to. But I used to preach just about exclusively in Southern Baptist churches down south. When I get one of those churches, I'd always do this. Somewhere in the meeting, I'd say, everybody stand. They stand up. I'd say, now, if you never stole a watermelon, I said, I'm not trying to trick you. I just want to know, if you never stole a watermelon in your life, sit down. And I have never been in a church of 400 or 500 where more than 10 people sat down. And I was preaching over there in the First Baptist Church of Fairhope one time, and I said, now, how many, stand up, and all stood up. I said, if you never stole a watermelon, sit down. And about 8 sat down, the congregation, around 300 someplace. They sat down, and I saw one well-dressed lady in the back, white glove, upper class boy, hoity-toity, blue blood man, posh. And she's back there, and she saw like this. Then she sat up again, and she starts down, she sat up again, face beet red, just beet red. And she kind of scoots down, and she get back up again. At the end of the service, I came around her, and I said, what's the matter, sister? You having a little trouble there? And she said, Brother Ruckman, she said, we did do that when I was a little girl, but we didn't call it stealing, we just call it taking them. That's what they call it in Wall Street in Washington, D.C., same thing. Thief, crook, stealing your money. He's a thief. Nothing like a Bible to clear up a college education.